What's up, Palmertown? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
I've got a passage for you. It is Matthew 8:23, and it says there, "And when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by the waves. But he was asleep. And they went and woke him, saying, 'Save us, Lord, we are perishing.' And he said to them, 'Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?' Then he rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the men marveled, saying, 'What sort of man is this, that even winds and sea obey him?'"
Cool. So, disciples and Jesus are going on a boat late at night. Jesus falls asleep. Disciples freak out. They're very afraid, terrified, because the storm is coming on the lake. And it's actually cool. I've been on the Sea of Galilee before. That sounds really pretentious. It's not supposed to be. It's not a big lake. It's pretty small. So it's like, if there's really big waves, it's like a scary time for them.
I'm sure it was, yeah.
So it was really scary. I was actually on the Sea of Galilee during a storm. It was freaking awesome. And it was scary. It was really scary. And then Jesus wakes up and he rebukes the wind and the waves, and he says to the disciples, "Where's your faith?" So there are a couple of things we want to pull out of here that we can hold on to as the best news about who our Jesus is. So the first is that when the disciples are freaking out and terrified, Jesus is asleep. Jesus is totally at peace and at rest and not worried. He's not anxious. He doesn't feel the need to be totally rigid and panicked and freaking out. He's completely at peace in the midst of the storm, the literal storm surrounding the disciples. So for us, in all the things we feel anxious about, stressed about, and fearful about, I want you to picture Jesus being asleep. That is the level of peace he has about all the trials in our lives, all the exams you have coming up, all the things that are on your to-do list, all the things that could go wrong with your future. Jesus is not afraid. He's not afraid for you, and he's completely at peace and at rest. And the second thing is that Jesus is Lord. So there's a song I really like, and one of the lyrics is, "The waves and wind still know his name." It's a Bethel song. And it comes from this passage where Jesus speaks and the wind and the waves, they obey him. And so I want you to hold on to that too, and the things that feel like they can overcome you, the things that feel overwhelming or scary. Jesus is King and Lord over those things. He is the ruler of the universe. He's the ruler of our lives. There's just nothing that's too big for him, nothing that's overwhelming to him. And so this week, the best news is that we serve a Jesus who is never afraid. He's never afraid. He went to the cross for us, and he was not afraid for us then. And he's certainly not afraid for us in all of the things that freak us out and go wrong in our lives. So that's the best
good,
news.
Hannah. That's the best news.
See you guys.